Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Micah Parsons reveals weight loss, down to college playing weight. Dallas Cowboys superstar Micah Parsons is taking on a versatile role in new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer's system, and he'll be lighter on his feet. In this story, Micah Parsons is one of the Dallas Cowboys superstars who is in line for a blockbuster contract, and he's making sure he will be able to put his best foot forward in 2024 as he embraces a new role. With training camp underway, Parsons has been moving around the formation as part of new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer's scheme. One of the biggest changes for the All-Pro edge rusher is an increase in off-ball snaps. Micah Parsons reveals daily bonding routine with Mike Zimmer. Parsons has embraced the versatile role and has made sure he will be lighter on his feet when the season begins. When speaking to reporters, Parsons revealed a 10-pound weight loss that takes him back to the 240 pounds he weighed as a star at Penn State. Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to be all over, man. At the end of the day, they got to find me. That's what I train for. There are some days I would go into the gym and do 500, 600 reps. It's that muscle endurance, that conditioning that you're training for. The long haul, Parsons said, by Asad Youssef of The Athletic. Great trainers and great people helped me understand that more weight doesn't always mean a positive thing. It's just how you train. Moving Parsons around the field is going to cause nightmares for opposing offenses. It will make it harder to scheme around Parsons, and the Cowboys can use his versatility to find the mismatches. And now that he's lighter and can be quicker and faster, the possibilities are endless. Last season, Parsons recorded 64 total tackles, 18 tackles for a loss, 33 QB hits, and a career-high 14 sacks. The Dallas Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb are engaged in contract negotiations, and there is some promising news regarding the star wide receiver's holdout. In this story, the CeeDee Lamb Dallas Cowboys contract negotiations have been a focal point of the start of training camp, with a mix of good and bad news. Now, as we enter a new week, there is a positive update for the Cowboys faithful. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network was discussing Lamb's ongoing negotiations when he shared some good news. According to Rapp, it does sound like they are getting closer to a deal. Ezekiel Elliott offers holdout advice to CeeDee Lamb. Cowboys CEO and Director of Player Personnel Stephen Jones said earlier in the weekend that the team had extended a contract offer to the star wide receiver. Rappaport did note, however, that it's unlikely Lamb's deal will match the deal Justin Jefferson signed with the Vikings earlier in the offseason. From Back Together Weekend, the #Cowboys continue to work on a potential contract extension for CeeDee Lamb, who they would love to have at camp. pic.twitter.com/0p06fp8iqv. I don't really think there's anyone arguing that Lamb should be paid more than Justin Jefferson. The biggest issue has been, Jefferson got a 4-year deal. Will the Cowboys be willing to give CeeDee Lamb a 4-year deal that is of similar money to Justin Jefferson, Rappaport said. It does sound to me like there's been some progress. Extending Lamb and getting him back on the field will be big for the Cowboys' offense and allow them to turn their attention elsewhere. After all, there is a quarterback on the roster who could use a new deal, too. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. Last season, Lamb had the best year of his professional career. He led the NFL in receptions with 135 while racking up 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns. Lamb, who added 2 rushing touchdowns, earned first-team All-Pro honors and was named to the 3rd Pro Bowl of his career. Before the Dallas Cowboys even held their first padded practice of training camp, they had a blow to their defense with pass rusher Sam Williams suffering a torn ACL in his left knee, a source told ESPN on Sunday. Williams also suffered a partial MCL tear, a source said, and the injuries have ended his season before it began. Williams was injured during the special teams portion of practice after he was engaged in a blocking drill. He remained down for several minutes as he was attended to by the Cowboys' medical staff. He could not put any weight on his left leg as he got on a cart and was taken to the locker room. After practice, owner and general manager Jerry Jones said, "We didn't like what we saw," before Williams headed off for an MRI. The Cowboys were banking on Williams being a major part of their pass rush behind DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. In free agency, Dorrance Armstrong and Dante Fowler Jr. joined former defensive coordinator Dan Quinn with the Washington Commanders. Williams has 8.5 sacks in his first 2 NFL seasons. He was third on the team in sacks with 4.5 in 2023, but he played just 28.3% of the snaps on defense. The Cowboys chose Williams in the second round in 2022 out of Ole Miss. The Cowboys selected Marshawn Kneeland in the second round this year and have been impressed with his early work in training camp. Impressive. Very impressive. Very mature, Coach Mike McCarthy said before Sunday's practice. Love his physicality, motor, just like we did during the draft process. He's off to a good start. He's very comfortable, picks it up in the classroom. Outward personality, which is important. He's off to a good start. The Cowboys have Viliami Fehoko Jr., Tyrus Wheat and Durrell Johnson as full-time defensive ends at camp, but they did not record a sack last year. Chauncey Golston can play end and tackle and had 1.5 sacks last season. Cowboys defensive end Sam Williams needed to be carted off the practice field when he was injured at training camp on Sunday, and initial word is that he suffered a severe injury. NFL media reports that Williams is believed to have a torn ACL. Further tests will be done to confirm that diagnosis, and Williams' season will be over if that confirmation arrives. Williams joined the Cowboys as a second-round pick in 2022, and he spent his first 2 seasons as a rotational player behind DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons. He was set to play the same role in 2024 and had 8.5 sacks over his first 2 seasons in Dallas. Second-round pick Marshawn Kneeland, 2023 fourth-round pick Viliami Fehoko, Durrell Johnson, Chauncey Golston, and Tyrus Wheat are the other defensive ends on the Cowboys roster. Williams will need to undergo orthoscopic surgery and the Cowboys will place him on season-ending injured reserve, resulting in a massive blow for Dallas before the team held its first practice with pads. The injury occurred on Sunday during practice when Williams was blocking during a special teams drill.